Community activist was shot and killed in Shadyside while riding his motorcycle. Friends say that Stephen Drake was loved by many and a big influence in the community. This evening, Pittsburgh police are still trying to figure out who is responsible. And new at 6, the victim's wife is speaking only to KDKA about what happened.
Carly Drake has spent the past few months grieving, and she tells us his loss is still being felt, not only by her, but by everyone in the community who knew Stephen. Ralph Iannotti has the exclusive interview.
I can't imagine who would want to do this or why come, and being the type of guy that he was so well known and very well liked and respected.
47-year-old Stephen Drake was riding his motorcycle when he was gunned down in the 5000 block of 5th Avenue in Oakland in the early morning hours of May 5th.
From what we could tell, a vehicle pulls up beside Stephen and opened fire on him in the 5800 block. We found shell casings in that block. The car speeds off.
Drake was a community activist. He tried to ease tensions in the Homewood neighborhood before gang-related violence exploded into gun violence. The gang violence was something Drake could relate to, and young people would listen to his stories after the run-ins with police he experienced when he was a youth.
You don't have to be a product of where you came from, so Steve was just like a great example of that.
We definitely believe that it was a targeted shooting. We don't believe it was random. As far as the why, we are still unsure right now.
Detectives say they've gotten some tips in their investigation of the Drake shooting, but they haven't been able to piece together enough to make an arrest. Drake's widow wonders if that's not because of a persistent attitude of non-cooperation with authorities that seems to have become more prevalent.
Yeah, it is a code of silence where people don't feel comfortable with talking to the police. And maybe that has, but I believe that's what's going on now, you know what I mean? But in my eyes, the type of the guy that Steve was now, I don't believe that he would condone that.
Ralph Iannotti, KDKA-TV News.
And if you have any information about the death of Stephen Drake, call Crime Stoppers at 412-255-8477. Information leading to a conviction could be worth up to $1,000.